We are in June now. I cannot believe I'm saying that. There are going to be more books published, more books released in the second half of the year. I'm here to talk to you about the ones I am most excited to read. I do have a part 1 to this anticipated reads video, so I'll leave a link to that one in the description in the video somewhere. This is part 2. So we have The Handyman by Nick Cutter. This one is supposedly to be released on the 8th of August. It is a chilling domestic story of terror for fans of Black Mirror and the Amityville horror. So a young family moves into an unfinished development community. Cracks begin to emerge in both their new residents and their lives as a mysterious online DIY instructor delivers dark subliminal suggestions about how to handle any problem around the house. The trials of home improvement, destructive insecurities, and haunted house horror all collide in this thrilling story perfect for fans of Nick Cutter's bestsellers, The Troop and the Deep. I have not read The Troop, but I have read The Deep, and I actually really enjoyed that one. It had a mix of the movies The Abyss and The Thing. We then have The Golden Spoon by Jessa Maxwell. This one is supposedly to be released on the 14th of September. It is about a baking show called Bake Week, and 6 contestants all compete for this prize called the Golden Spoon. Betsy Martin is the famous host of this baking TV show, and the show must succeed if she is to preserve her family legacy and her family home, which is this grand manor where the show takes place in. The show commences and small acts of sabotage ends up turning into a body being discovered, and it is clear that for someone the competition, the Golden Spoon, is worth killing for. We also have The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne. This one is supposedly to be released on the 17th of October. It might be a bit speculative fiction, I'm not sure, but it does. Apparently it is said to have mystery, romance, and a touch of the impossible, which makes me think it might be speculative fiction, and maybe even a little bit witchy as well. So it takes place in Jasper, North Carolina. It follows June Farrow and the Farrow women that have a thriving flower farm, and a generations-old curse that haunts the family. June has been left into the care of her grandmother after her mother Susanna's madness from the curse has led her to disappear. Because of the madness, everyone assumes that Everyone assumes June is going to follow the same path as her mother because of the curse, and people are worried she's just going to disappear too. Little do they know, June is keeping a secret from everyone because the madness has already started taking place over her. The madness is already taking over her body and her mind. June's grandmother dies, and she embarks on a journey to find clues that link her mother's disappearance to the dark history of the town that will lead her to a mysterious door. This one I'm really excited about. Out of all of the ones on this list, I think I might be excited for this one just a little bit more. Everyone on this train is a suspect. It is the second book in the Ernest Cunningham series, I'm assuming. I don't know if there's going to be more than one. This one is also supposedly going to be released the 17th of October. The Australian Mystery Writers Association has invited Ernest to board the Garn, where a famous crime writing festival is taking place. Ernest was hoping for some inspiration for his second novel and to hopefully take a break from the real people killing each other, but obviously things don't go as planned. 6 crime writing authors are aboard the Garn. The debut writer, who is Ernest, the forensic science writer, the blockbuster writer, the legal thriller writer, the literary writer, the psychological suspense writer. One of these 6 writers has been murdered. 5 will have to become detectives, investigate who is doing the killings, but also with that means that these 5 writers also know how to be the murderer, being crime writers themselves. And that just sounds so freaking awesome. This one actually might have more Agatha Christie vibes than the first one, which is this one. Everyone in my family has killed someone. And finally, after all of my whinging and complaining, we have finally gotten a release date for Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. Apparently this book is going to be released November 9. There is going to be a 6th one that comes out next year, I believe. It follows Nick and Charlie. One of them is gay, one of them realizes that he might be bisexual. They start off as friends and it turns into them being boyfriends. And it is so beautiful. It's so important. It's so lovely. talks about serious issues like homophobia, transphobia, what else? Eating disorders, mental health, illness, especially 3 and 4. Volumes 3 and 4 do talk about that, but I feel like volume 4 talks about it a bit more, and it's really good. I think any LGBTQ person or teenager needs to read this. It's so good. It really is. There's also, I just want to remind you of some other ones that will be coming out later on. I've already talked about these books in part 1, so I won't talk about them that much. I'll just remind you of them. We have Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Release date is supposedly 18th of July. We have The Deep Sky by Yumi Kitase. Oh my god, I'm saying that completely wrong. That one is also 18th of July. A Soul of Ash and Blood, I believe that one is 4.5. It's like a companion novel. Oh no, that one is from Hawk's perspective. That's correct. That's also 18th of July. Damn, all the good ones are coming out on 18th of July. We also have A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman. This one is 27th of July. Sticky Fingers 7 by J.T. Lawrence. This one is coming out on the 1st of August. Visions of Flesh and Fire, which is a Blood and Ash and also Flesh and Fire compendium. This one has all the like the short stories and the maps and like a little bit more of the history and the lore of the world of From Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This one, I believe, is 4.5, if I remember correctly, so there is still going to be a 6th one. This one is coming out in October, the 31st of October. And then we also have A Fire in the Flesh. It is the 3rd book in the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it is coming out in the 12th of December. So I've already talked about those ones I had just quickly mentioned, so I will have a link in the description for part 1 if you do want to know a little bit more about them. Excuse the angle for a moment. There is another one. It's called The Launch Party by Lauren Forry. It comes out on the 22nd of June. It is the ultimate locked room mystery set in the first hotel on the moon. The trip of a lifetime, you'd die to be there. The 10 lucky people have won a place at the most exclusive launch event of the century, the grand opening of the Hotel Artemis, the first hotel on the moon. It's an invitation to die for as the transport departs for its return to Earth and the doors seal shut behind them. The guests take the next leap for mankind. However, they soon discover that all is not as it seems. The champagne may be flowing, but there is no one to pour it. Room service is available, but there's no one to deliver it. Besides the 10 of them, they are completely alone. When one of the guests is found murdered, fear spreads through the group, but that death is only the beginning. Being 3 days' journey from home and with no way to contact the outside, can any of the guests survive their stay? Ooh, let me know what you think. That sounds really good. Thank you everyone for watching if you have. If any of these books sound interesting to you, please let me know. Are there any anticipated releases you're anticipating? Did I miss out on any of them? There's not really much. Unless I've read from an author before, like, I won't be anticipating it, if you know what I mean. So I usually like to leave my anticipated releases for books that I just think are just going to be so good that I think I know I will like, and also from authors I've read before. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.